back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for joining me, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you go. I know I've been in and out of YouTube. I haven't posted in about a month, but I've been posting primarily on Facebook, and I'm now transitioning over to my YouTube. So get your friends to come over to the YouTube. Tell people to come watch my series, Amber's Secret. I am going to tell you guys about my trip to Cancun today. Cancun, Mexico. I got back literally last week, and I bronzed quite a bit while I was there. So I'm gonna tell you guys all about my trip, and you know, if you decide to go to the same resort that I did, let me know. Like, even if you just check it out, just leave the comments down in the comment section. We booked our trip through this website called cheapcaribbean.com, which they're pretty good about finding bundles. So all inclusive, that's your flight, your room, and when you get there, your drinks and food are all included in this bundle. So we did that through cheapcaribbean.com. We stayed for 4 days, which was more than enough, actually. Well, I think it was just about enough. We chose to fly out of Atlanta because it was actually significantly cheaper than flying out of Charlotte or Greensboro. And Atlanta is not that far of a drive. It's about 4.5 hours or almost 5 hours from Greensboro. So we drove to Atlanta on that Saturday. Our flight left around 6:30 p.m. and we were so excited to get to Mexico. The flight was only 2.5 hours, which was really shocking to me. I thought it would be a little bit longer than that, but the flight was 2.5 hours. We were there before we knew it. We got there when it was dark, so we didn't actually get to see the beautiful water and sand when we first got there, but we did get to see the resort. The resort was absolutely gorgeous. We stayed at Grand Oasis Sins, and I'll put the link to the hotel in the description bar so you can check it out. And we had to book transportation from the airport to the from the airport to the resort, and that was pretty cool. It was pretty quick. It took about 25 to 30 minutes, I'd say, from the airport to get to the resort. And when we got there, they were waiting for us at the door. Someone greeted us at the door. They took our bags, and actually they had us sit our bags at the door, and we were like, no, we'll take our bags with us. It's fine, don't worry about it. And we went to the reservation desk to secure our reservation, and as soon as we got there, they were serving us tequila and beer. So it was that kind of party. It was really nice. The resort had like 7 or 8 restaurants that we could choose from. They had so many pools, and there were lights that were just beautiful. It's hard to describe, but it just looks like you could find something new to do there every single day that you were there. The second day, we decided what we wanted to do on our trip. So we decided that we wanted to go parasailing and to do a jungle tour, which both of them were very, very fun. We had to speak with a representative that, worked with the activities that you could do around the resort. We converted a certain amount of currency over at the airport, and it ended up being just enough money for whatever we wanted to do. So we went parasailing. Parasailing was so fun. It was $60, which I'm not sure exactly the conversion in pesos, but it was $60 to do parasailing, and it was $60 to do the jungle tour. So that was really fun and fairly inexpensive. So if you go, definitely try to do those things, or go to Tulum, or Shell is another one that's really awesome. But anyway, so that's what we did the second day. We booked all our stuff that we wanted to do, and we really just explored the land. It was such a beautiful place. The ocean was such a clear blue. The sand was so white. You could just lose yourself in the oasis. And I think it was aptly named. We had our drinks flowing. I had a tequila sunrise. Bay had a LIT. We were just out there living. And it was for his graduation, by the way. I guess I should say that. Yeah, so the first full day that we were there, we just did a whole bunch of exploring. we needed some sunblock lotion, so we spoke to some of the concierge and they told us to go to a convenience store down the street. The heat was very different from Charlotte. Charlotte or Greensboro. It was nice and hot down there, so I was sweating my butt off. Once we got our sunblock lotion and whatever else we needed from the convenience store, we actually came back to the resort and knocked out for like hours. So we woke up nice and rested, and then we started drinking and doing everything else that we wanted to do all over again. But the second day that we were there is when we did parasailing. And y'all, I don't know if I've ever told y'all this, but I'm like terrified of heights. There is one thing that I know I will never do, and that is jump out of a plane. I will never skydive. It's 3 of my biggest fears combined in one: falling, heights, and planes. Okay, I like planes. I don't like riding on planes. There's the difference. My compromise was to go parasailing. At least you start, you know, down and then you go up. That's a good compromise, right? What we did was someone who works with the parasailing company drove us out on a jet ski to the boat that was doing the parasailing. We went over so many waves. It was crazy. It was really cool. So we got to the boat and there was 2 other people in front of us, I think. And you know, we got to see the parasailing from start to finish. We got to see the couple get hooked up and everything to go onto the parasail. We saw them in the sky, and I was like, yo, it's so high. So I'm already nervous. I'm like, oh my God, it's so high. What if I fall in the water? Are there sharks in the water? You know, I'm thinking all of these crazy things. They strapped me and Jeremy up, and I think I started getting seasick. Yeah, so I started feeling a little nauseous, but it went away after a while, whatever. We got on the back of the boat. He clipped us into this little bar. He told us, don't touch the clips. And I was like, boo, you don't have nothing to worry about, because my hands will be nowhere near those clips. Amen. Once he clipped us in, we sat down and we kind of spread our legs a little bit. So I guess we didn't get caught up in anything. So we spread our legs, and then the boat took off, and then we just started drifting up into the sky. I would have these little bursts, like screams, like ah, ah. After you get over your fear of falling and your fear of heights, it's really beautiful. You get to see the ocean and the sand from a different perspective, and you literally could see the whole strip. And then the rest of that day we just kind of hung out. It was cool. The next day we did the jungle tour. We went to this place called Aqua Fun. It was not so far from our resort. We had to get on the bus, and it was like 5 stops up from our resort, and that was actually really cool, getting on the bus and exercising what little Spanish I have. That's another, so pro tip, when you go to another country, make sure that you have brushed up at least a little bit on the language, because not only is it polite, but it makes things easier for you when you get there. When we got to Aqua Fun, we got all geared up. We got our flippers, we got our life jackets, and then we got some snorkeling stuff. And we got on some speedboats. We drove through the lagoon and we jumped off into the coral reef. Immediately lost my flipper. The instructor had to go jump off and get the flipper for me. I ended up also having issues with my snorkeling or my scuba diving gear, because it wouldn't suction to my face. Every time I stuck my head under the water would get inside my mask and inside my little breathing tube. So whenever I got the hang of it, it was really fun though. The first time I dipped my head under the water, there was like 3 fish that just flew past my face, and I freaked out. I was like, ah! It's not that I was afraid of the fish or anything. It was just I wasn't expecting them to be that close. But what could you expect if you're in the water? Right? And we snorkeled for about 45 minutes before we got back on the speedboats, and we drove back through the lagoon, and that was it. From that point on, we just chilled until it was time to go. Now, if you do use cheapcaribbean.com, be cognizant of the flight times. They had us leaving hella early. The day we were supposed to leave, which was Wednesday, this past Wednesday, we ended up having to leave at 4 o'clock in the morning. The shuttle came at 4 because our flight left at 7, and that is what I would say would be the only downside. when booking with Cheap Caribbean, you just have to be real careful about your flights. The other thing that I would be cognizant about is when you're on the flight over, they give you some papers for customs. Keep them. They're going to take one paper and they're going to leave you with another one. You need that. You will need that paper when you come back to the airport to leave. You don't want to end up having to pay $30 extra for another one if you lose it or if you don't bring it with you. If you're looking to get out of the country this summer and plan a vacation to a tropical spot, I definitely recommend Cancun, Mexico, and I recommend Grand Oasis Sins, and I will put the link to all of them down below so you can check them out. I will also put the link down below for Cheap Caribbean so you can check out all of their tropical vacations. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media outlets. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Amber's Secret. Thank you so much for watching and stay awesome.